Hello everyone, this is the Hunter Collector here with another action figure review, and here we have the Hot Toys Marvel Spider-Man 2 video game Black Suit Spider-Man here. So first we're going to go over the box, then the accessories, and then the figure itself. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the front of the box, we get a cool picture of Spider-Man lunging towards you. This is a screen grab from the video game. You get some glossy symbiote effects going on here. You also get some of the spider legs on this back, which he technically doesn't use in the game. He uses his tendrils. But yeah, Marvel Spider-Man 2, glossy. You get some blue border around the white Spider-Man 2 logo, Marvel above it. Hot Toys Special Edition. Hot Toys logo down there. Video game logo. 1/6 scale Peter Parker Black Suit collectible figure. So yeah, that's the front. And then the side, we get some more of that glossy symbiote effect going on here, and it's going throughout the spider arms as well, which this is the same picture from the front. It just continues. You get some of his hand there, some of his knee. Hot Toys logo down there, same logo, 1/6 scale Peter Parker Black Suit Spider-Man figure. You get more of this like web design right here that kind of looks like holographic. Yeah, that's it for that side. And then you get the back with all the legal information. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Not too much to really read into there, but it's a blue background. And then here's the other side, continuing off with that that picture from the front earlier. You get more of that black symbiote, glossy textured part there. And then you get more of the spider legs kind of popping out there, more symbiote tendrils, and then 1/6 scale Peter Parker Black Suit. And then the top, you get Marvel Spider-Man 2 with the kind of like whited, or it's a gray top with a little bit of a lighter gray for the spider logo there. And then the bottom, basically the same exact thing. So yeah, and this is a slip cover, so let's take off the slip cover. And here's the box without the slip cover on top of it. You get some of this like glitchy effects going off here and the sides. Marvel Spider-Man 2 down there. It's a gray background. You get a little bit of the symbiote spider here, more holographic stuff, and then Hot Toys down there in the bottom right. And then the side, more of that glitchy effect going on here. Holographic effects going on here. Miles Morales spider logo on the top there. 1/6 scale Peter Parker Black Suit action figure. And then you get a picture of Black Suit Spidey from the video game. I kind of recognize that pose. I think that's the one where he's like in, like over by the church. And then you get Marvel Spider-Man 2, Peter Parker Black Suit. And then Peter Parker with some white squigglies across the top. And the other side, you get a more clear picture of the Black Suit Spidey, with that kind of like glitched echo effect going on here to the left, and then some of it going off to the right with like a purple and then a green holographic effects. Miles Morales spider logo there, and then top and bottom are the same exact way. So before we get into it, if you guys enjoy this video, it helps out a lot to leave a like and a subscribe, and then so that way you don't miss any more Hot Toy figures. Just leave push that bell notification icon so that way you don't miss another Hot Toy review. But besides that, let's get right into it. Alright, so here is all the Black Suit Spidey accessories, but before we get into it, I highly recommend taking a look at the instructions for this figure. It always helps to take a look at these instructions to know how all the pieces work for the figure, front and back. So yeah, that's just something to take a look at. And here is all of the Black Suit Spidey's accessories now. So first we're going to start with the display base. So here we got the black suit here in the front, Marvel Spider-Man 2 logo and the glossy effect here, white spider logo here, glossy as well. Sides are glossy, you get some like goop black goop effects going on here with some like white scratches going on here and there. Nothing really crazy going around the sides, nothing on the bottom. You get a port here. You get this little bendy wire flight stand here. Bends all over the place if you'd like. You just kind of pop it right on here. And there would be a cap on the top. I took it off already. And then you get a little hip grabber here, rubber edges, and then one for the butt. And then you would put this over like this. I do recommend probably not putting this on like the figure. I would have, if you're gonna have like a figure flying, I'd put the legs kind of through there, so that way it kind of looks like he's like actually up higher, and so that way you don't damage the figure's outfit. So first we're gonna start with the web effects. So you get this little spiral one here. It's like the Advanced Suit 2.0 one, except it's glossy black paint. You get some like some spiral pieces going off to make it irregular. So looks pretty cool. This is supposed to sit on the bottom of Spidey's hand, as if it's like extra webbing that he's using from swinging. I'll show you how to use that. And then you get another web effect here, which is the exact same one that you get from the Advanced 2.0 suit. Glossy black paint. And I recommend not trying to take these apart because they are technically glued together to help support them, and so that way they're not so fragile. Very erratic webbing kind of going off all over the place. They look like arrow heads at the ends, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's that. And then you get another web effect here with like an arrowhead, glossy black paint. You get a port here to put in the hands, which I'll show you, and like a splat effect. And then you get another one here, but it's a little different. You get a rounded end here, and it's supposed to look like he's kind of like just shooting it out. And doesn't look as dangerous. There's a splat effect at the end, and a port for the hand again. And then you get kind of like a web swinging one, or a web hand. I mean, a webbing that you can have him holding on to, or you get like he's zipping to somewhere. There's some strands that make it look irregular. It's pretty cool. This is where you have this slot slide through. So yeah. And then you get this one where it's like a little more curly or curvy. Some more erratic spots here and there, kind of just hanging off. And it curves more down at the end, glossy black paint. So pretty cool. Yeah, those are the same exact ones from Advanced 2.0 suit that we got, except it's just all black. And then you get this big goop effect that's supposed to be plugged into Spidey's forearm. I'll show you how to put it in. But it's all glossy black paint. You get all this goop effect here. I mean, it's just, it looks pretty cool. I usually have them displayed with it. What's interesting though is that this piece here, this long piece, can actually be taken out. And I'm assuming is what you could do is you can have this kind of hold on to someone's head. Like for example, you could probably have it kind of like that, pretty much, as if he's grabbing someone's head, like I said. So it's pretty cool. I'm just gonna plug this back in so that way I don't lose that piece. I actually didn't know this works that way until I looked at the instructions when I did this review. So that is actually a pretty cool thing to do. So a little bit more creativity to do with this piece that I did not realize you could do. And then you get a extra head sculpt, which comes with the special edition, and it's the Advanced Suit 2.0 masked head sculpt. And the lenses do not come out like the other one does from the actual suit. You get some glossy lenses here with some like mesh inside there to give it that like 3D effect. Like a matte black for the lenses, the frames I mean. And then the sculpt work to make it look like it's fabric. It's really good. I like the cherry red that they used. The webbing looks pretty good. and then you get this like symbiote kind of like around it to make it look like it's being consumed by the symbiote. And you get some of this white here that is supposed to form into the white eyes for the black suit. There's some like jaw looking pieces here where it's like kind of exposed, which is pretty cool. Another one right here in the back, which is big exposed. It's glossy black paint. It's pretty cool. You can take this out too. I'll show you. I usually take it out and have like a Tom Holland head sculpt popped on there sometimes. I'll show you guys there at some point in this video, but yeah, it's a pretty cool accessory to get. And then you get a full array of hands, kind of. It's a little weird. So you kind of get two relaxed hands there. I think kind of the same, pretty much. So glassy black paint, you get some texturing going on here and there. Like this is a padded part, so it's a little more raised. You get a white like triangle arrow piece on his forehand as well. It looks like you get a little bit of blue in there to give it some like more detailing, I guess. And then the palms are like padded up as well, as you can tell from the lines. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I like the texturing. Glossy black paint makes it look gooey, so pretty cool. There's that. And then this is a little weird right here, but so I guess you get one wall crawling hand, and then one that I guess you would consider a wall crawling hand. I don't really think it's a wall crawling hand. I think it's a little weird that they didn't give us another the right hand like this, like usual. So I don't know. It's a little weird. I wish that they gave us another wall crawling hand for his right hand and not this. I mean, it's pretty cool to have, but I mean, if you're gonna try to make him look like he's wall crawling, you might as well give us another one. I wouldn't consider this a wall crawling hand. This is like a clenched hand. He's about to charge up this fist to punch someone, I guess. But yeah, the fingers are more curled in, more angry looking, I guess is what I should say. More padding, glossy black paint, nice texturing, white triangle with some blue, like a very light white blue for the detailing there. Wall crawling hand, so this one's definitely a wall crawling hand. Kind of fits like flat on the surface like that. So same details, padded palms, and then texturing, padded forehand, white stripe there. And then you get two whipping hands, one for each hand. So as you can see, this one already has like the hole on it. This one doesn't. So this is the one where you would have the webbing kind of plugged into, like so. And I'm pretty sure they're the same exact sculpt. They're just, flipped around for left and right. But what you do is just plug that in like that, and then boom, it's attached to the webbing is attached like so, and it's fairly easy. And then these hands, or the palms, are actually fairly easy to take off. So it's connected with two pegs, and there's two holes there, and then you just pop them back on if you want. But I usually like to just pre-pop them on because it seems a little weird to not have a whipping hand and not have webs coming out of it. So yeah, and it has the same details: glossy black paint, texturing, white stripe there, a little bit of padding. You get to see a little more padding on the thumb actually, because most of these are curled in. So yeah, pretty cool. And then you get these little black back ports here, which are supposed to cover his backs, because you get these spider legs here. So yeah, you get those pieces for the spider legs. You get these web wings here, which go underneath Spidey's armpits. I'll show you how to put these on, but you can see that these are magnets. They're black paint. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can tell that those are magnets because of the little gaps. So it's kind of like a clear plastic for the like spaces between the webbing. It's like a glossy black on the back side, and then more matted here to give it that like more fabric kind of effect, I guess is what I should say. And then glossy black for the actual webbing parts here, and sharp at the ends here, which is pretty cool. I don't think the Advanced Suit 2.1 is this sharp exactly. So Yeah, I'll show you how to put these on, but yeah, you get to see some of that like paint job to make it look like it's mesh. And then you get the spider legs here that go into his back. So they're pretty much the advanced 2.0 suit one, except you get some goop effects going on throughout these legs. So they're all silver here. Each of these joints kind of have their own articulation, so it goes all over the place like so, and it's ratchet joints on all of them. And then you get these sharp knuckle pieces is what I should say, I guess, for the joints. Kind of has that texture to give it that carbon fiber look. It is textured. You get some blue lights, but they're not actual lights. I wish they were, but it would be cool. But it would be very hard to engineer that into the legs. And then you kind of keep going on with that same detail throughout the legs until you get to the end here, which you get this like transparent blue tip part here, and you get this glossy black goop kind of all over throughout the legs, and it gets, I don't know, it's pretty cool. I like it. It's pretty cool. He doesn't really have this effect in the video game, but I like it. It's pretty cool. So I do wish that they gave us tendrils instead of the legs, though. That's just me. But besides that, let's get to figure out. And here is Spidey out of the box here, and no crazy poses, just kind of standing straight up with no accessories. He is probably one of my favorite figures in the collection. But yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm just going to start off with details, and we'll go over articulation, and I'll show you how to, use the accessories and such. So first, starting off with the head sculpt. This is actually a sculpted head. It's not an actual mask like the rubber pieces throughout the entire suit. But they do a really good job to make it look like it's actually part of the suit. So you get a lot of texture going on throughout the entire figure itself, actually. You get some of this like jaw pieces kind of here and there, like they're kind of padded. Really nice glossy black paint, and you get like this stringy symbiote effect more in the back. Like, I don't know, it looks like they kind of do that for like the spots where it's supposed to be more flexible for Spidey to kind of look around or bend his joints and such. You get this nice like texture going on with the eyes here. You get some blue around to give it that depth for the white eyes, so it looks a little more hazy and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the head sculpt. It's sculpted plastic, and it really works well for the black suit. And then starting off with the torso, you get a lot of armored padding going on throughout the figure, like the ab pieces here, and then some for the obliques. The back, you see that this is the portholes where you would put the spider legs in or the coverings. The white spider logo is like the comic accurate version, but a lot of texturing, like it's textured all the way around the suit. Pretty much, there's nowhere where it's smooth. It's all textured, like gooey looking, pretty much. The biceps have like these strands of symbiote where it would be technically flexible for Spidey, so that way you can move around. Padded shoulders, it seems like. Just kind of, I don't know, there's a lot of cool details here and there. More stringy ones here, and then it gets more padded near the forearm. Spidey does come with fist hands already with the figure on, so. And then you get a little port piece here where you plug in the web effects, which I'll show you here in a bit. But yeah, padded forearms, glossy black paint, nice texturing throughout the hand. So yeah, and then moving on through the legs, more stringy effects going on throughout like the outer part of the thighs, kind of, and then padded near the front, and a little bit of stringy here and there, and near the shins. More of that. So, and then padded forefoot piece here, and then the soles are pretty much like almost the exact same sculpt as the advanced 2.0 suit, pretty much. So it's pretty cool. And then the balls of the feet have some really cool texturing. It's got some treads onto it. So yeah, I mean, I mean, so it's a pretty fast like look at with detail. I mean, it's textured all the way around. There's a lot of detailing throughout it. It's mainly black with some white here and there with some blue shading around it to make it pop a little bit. But yeah, and then moving on with the articulation, he has a double ball jointed head, so you can look up pretty much that far. You look down that far. You can do a 360 around the head. His head can pivot side to side pretty much a lot, so you kind of get him going all over the place. Shoulders move up a little past 90 degrees, goes down that far. You can shift his shoulders up and down if you want. And then you can have his arms kind of face forward that much, backwards decent amount. He does have a bicep swell, double jointed elbows that go past 90 degrees. His wrists are on like that weird wrist joint, so you can have it hinge down that much, up that much, and then you can have it to go side to side if you'd like. He has a diaphragm joint on the top, so you can bend forward that much with that, backwards a decent amount. And then he does have a hip joint as well, so with the diaphragm and the hip joint, he can go down that much forward, backwards a whole bunch. He can go side to side kind of. You can twist his hips a little bit. Legs kick forward pretty much almost 90 degrees, a little less than that, but nothing too crazy. So it's pretty good. Backwards actually a decent amount. To the side, not quite 90. Thigh cut, double jointed knees. Ankles hinge down that much, up that much, and you have toe joints. And then to swap off the head, it's on a ball joint, so you just pop it off like that. Grab this, pop it on, give it a little bit of force. So yeah, it took me a little bit. I just kind of breathed on it to kind of give it a little bit warm just to kind of get in there. But yeah, that's what it looks like with that head sculpt on. And then for the web wings, so there should be like more magnets on the edges of the suit pretty much. So what I usually do is make sure the glossy side, I guess, is facing towards his back. So, and then this would be actually his other side, because you want the short side to be on his bicep. So this is what it should look like. So yeah, that's what it should look like pretty much. It might have a little bit of gappage. I wish there was a bit of a better way to put the web wings on these figures, but yeah. And then for the back ports, so what I'm trying to do is, so I'm gonna do, so this side, so this is what it should kind of look like. I'm not gonna put it in all the way because they're a royal pain in the butt to take out. Actually, I think it's supposed to be like, no, it's this way. Yeah, so these ones go on the top with the two stripes on them. So they kind of go on there like that. So you kind of want it like that. And that pops on just like that. And I'm not putting them all in all the way because they're, like I said, a royal pain in the butt to get out. I usually just leave them off, but I understand why some people just want to keep them in there because photography wise, but I'm not a big fan on these things. Like I said, I wish there's a bit of a better way to put them on. But then for the legs, you can just kind of put them in. There's no specific way or a specific leg for each port, so you can literally just pop it in like so. And here is the black suit Spidey with the symbiote robotic spider legs, which looks pretty damn sick. And then for this big tendril piece here that is supposed to go onto Spidey's arm, what you want to do is pop off his arm, or his hand, I mean, like that. And then there's like a little hole in there. Just kind of want to just slide that in like so. And then there you go. You got him with the big tendril piece for an arm. And here's a little side-by-side comparison with the symbiote Spidey next to the Advanced Suit 2.0 figure. Pretty much the same exact height. And then another side-by-side comparison next to the Marvel Spider-Man 2 video game Venom, with Venom towering over this figure. So yeah, that is the Hot Toys Marvel Spider-Man 2 symbiote figure. I really like this figure. I think he is probably one of the better Spider-Man figures, to be honest, in my collection. I would say he's the most flexible and I would say kind of the most detailed, sculpt-wise or paint job. Not necessarily paint job. It's all mainly glossy black paint, but I guess what I should say is more textured. And it comes with a lot of accessories. The special edition head sculpt is awesome. Especially for me, I usually kind of swap out the red head sculpt sometimes for like a Peter Parker Tom Holland head sculpt. It's just very hard. If you want to do that, I recommend just heating up the symbiote part and then popping out the red piece, and then you can slide in the Tom Holland head sculpt if you'd like. But it's pretty hard to do that. I usually do that very rarely because I'm worried about ruining the Tom Holland head sculpt and then that symbiote piece, but that's just me. But there's plenty of people who've done that, and it's pretty cool to do. But besides that, I mean, this figure comes with a lot of accessories. Sculpt wise is awesome, detail wise is awesome. Just wish that they came with the back tendril pieces instead of the spider legs, because he never really uses these things in symbiote form, I guess. He just has the tendrils to use. Web wings are cool. The web effects is pretty cool. And another thing that bugs me would be the wall crawling hand part. You only get basically, it's technically the wall crawling hand for the left hand for me, but you don't get that same wall crawling hand for the right hand. You get a clenched hand, I guess is what I should say. Not fist, but clenched. That does not look like a wall crawling hand to me, to be honest. So yeah, those are my only critiques with the figure. But besides that, I really like this figure. It's awesome. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I've really got for this figure. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and let me know what other Hot Toy figures you'd like me to do reviews on, do pictures with, videos and stuff like that. So yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.